Hi, it's Grace from Grace's Scrap Attic, and I am here today to show you a little quick tutorial about how to make some repurpose some paper bags into flowers. So I wanted to let you know that I'm actually going to be highlighting this product, the Helmar Quick Dry 450 Quick Dry Adhesive. I absolutely love it. It works. It dries clear. It's machine washable. It's acid free. It's quick drying. It works on all different kinds of surfaces. Today, of course, we're going to use it on paper, and I will show you how well this product works with this technique. This technique is very difficult to do unless you have a very nice quick dry adhesive. So let me go ahead and show you. We're going to start off with a paper bag, just your standard grocery bag. No big deal. Make sure that what you use is, my bag actually has a seam where it's been glued right down the back. So, and of course this one's ripped. What I'm going to wind up doing is cutting the front here and then cutting down the back seam and then unfolding it so I have the side and half the back to use without any print or anything like that on it. Okay, so this is part of that piece that I cut out, and sorry for the shadowing, I have some lighting issues today. And what you're going to do is take your pencil and create a circle about the size of a quarter. Okay, let me see if you guys can see this. I'm going to scoot this in a little bit. Oops. So there you go, circle. And then you're just going to kind of come out from the circle and draw a spiral around it. Now, a lot of people say it doesn't matter, it can go any direction, but I actually prefer to make my spiral a little thicker towards this, a little wider towards the center right here, and thinner as I get out, because the outside actually winds up being the inside of this rose. So, and if you mess up, like here I got a little too close, I'll just, I'll just redo it. And I'll just go, it's actually easier if I rotate it myself, so. Just go around, start getting a little thinner on the outsides. That's just a little technique that I like the way they turn out that way. It's a personal preference. So, make your spiral. And then you can do one of two things. You can either hand cut your scallops on this, or you can use, if you have them, some Fisker's scissors with a large scalloped edge here. This one's actually labeled Clouds, and it's by Fisker. So that scalloped edge is what I used on my sample I'll be showing you today. You have to be a little careful with it because of the way the scallops go. You want them to scallop to the outside. Here, I'll just draw a few. And you can hand cut. You can draw them and hand cut them if you don't want to freehand it while you're cutting, or if you have a straight edge scissor and you don't have the other ones. Okay. So this is going to wind up being the back side of your paper. So you take, let's see if I can get the glare off of it. I'm sorry. So the coloring, take and cut into that point. There, if I stand in the way, maybe it works for the shade. Not sure why. And then you'll wind up cutting. I actually have to turn my Fisker scissors upside down and cut with them funky, but it winds up doing the scallop that direction. Okay, but first, before I do that, now that I've got my stuff drawn out, put my tools aside, and this is a little noisy, so I'm sorry, but I'm going to basically crumple it up and throw it away and start over. I'm just joking. Actually, I'm not. What I'm going to want, I'm just softening the paper bag a little bit. So I'm going to crumple it up, unwind it, uncrumple it, and then crumple it back up a couple of times. The more you do it, the softer your paper is going to be. The more flexible, the more softer. It's not that you need it that way. I just like the way it looks. So you can do it with it flat and then have a smoother flower. I wanted something more aged and vintagey. So you can do it as many times as you need to. You can hear it's not as loud. I don't know if you can hear that. It might still be pretty loud for you. As it was the first time when I did it. And then what I'll do is come in here with my scissors the correct way, or the incorrect way, and scallop the edge. Okay, and I'll follow the spiral all the way around with my scissors till I get to the center. And then I'll take my straight edge and I'll cut about halfway, just halfway around that center circle, okay? And I'll show you what that does. Now, another thing I did specifically to this rose I'll be working with in a second is I took my ink pad and just gently kind of went over it a little bit before I cut it, and then I distressed the edges after I cut it, okay? Just to give it, and then when it dries, the paper actually absorbs it more and it's a softer color. It's not so harsh. You can see it, see here. But there's actually color on this. This was the same ink pad. So because it's water-based, it just kind of fades out a little bit when it dries. Okay, so after you cut all the way to the center, you're going to wind up with, because I wrinkled it so many times, it's got creases in it now. You're going to wind up with this item here. See how each time I cut another row, it kind of created the bottom of these. And then here in the center, let me see if I can get it without the, you can see I cut it with the straight edge right about halfway around there. Okay. And then I took, I didn't do the last little bit here because I wanted to show you how I did this. I took, this is a glitter brush tool that I have from PK Glitz, but the anything will do. Like I've used paint brush handles, or I've even used smooch handles with the side here. And what I'll do is on the outside edge of each of this strip, the outside edge is going to wind up being your petals. I'll just pinch and curl the petals over, and I just kind of go over it very gently. Just be gentle with your paper so you don't tear it. But and then you can see from the side. Ooh, I have an issue putting it like this. See if it'll focus here. Maybe not. Put it down here. Okay. So see from the side here how this is straight and then it curves. So that's what you're looking for. You just want to kind of curve that petal out. See, you can see how it kind of just rolls. All right. So that helps it. And then from there, what I've done is take my ink pad and distressed just the edges a little bit more so there's more color on them. Just for those, and I've already done it all the way around the rest of it just to make it go faster in the video. Okay, and so you see how dark that looks, but like I said, it'll fade out a little bit as soon as it starts to dry. So it has a hint of pink, actually, not dark red or anything like that, or brown. There's a hint of pink on it. What we're going to wind up doing from here is start with this end, not the circle end, but the outside edge, now that you're ready. And you kind of just want to play with it a little bit and kind of create like a little bud, okay? Notice that the back is where, oh, I keep going too close for you, I'm sorry. The back has a line on it where we drew our spiral before. So you want to make sure that you ink the side without the drawing on it, and that's going to wind up being your top side of your flower. Okay. So, and I actually pinch it, and sometimes I even fold it in the center here, so it kind of helps create more openness on this side and a little tiny side on that side. Okay. And then I roll it, and as I'm rolling it, I try to kind of curl the petals out a little more. Also, pinch and fold. And this is the hardest part of this, is getting this started. Now, if you wanted to, you could dab glues here and there throughout this, but I'm not gonna, I don't usually do that. I've seen people do that. This flower is very common. You'll find it all the time on the internet. So once you get to a point here on YouTube, so I know it's repetitive, but I wanted to show you how well this glue dries with it. The other thing, you can start rolling faster now that you've got the center started. And you just roll it for a little while. Seriously, look how fast that is. Just roll it for a little while, and then I sit there and I'll kind of push the top of the petals out with my thumbs. Roll it a little more. Trying to keep this bottom part, I went off camera, trying to keep this bottom part as level as possible because you're going to put a big dollop of glue there and you want it to catch all the extra little edges and stuff, okay? So just keep rolling and rolling. You could add spritz to this. You could do pattern papers. I did a pattern paper example, which just to show you, or just try out how well this glue works on this, because it's been a while since I made these flowers, and I hated making them because I'd sit there forever just holding them together, waiting for the glue to dry. And so I wanted to test this out on this, and I fell in love with how fast it actually works. So once you get towards the center, you can tell that this bottom is pretty flat. I've pretty much kept the bottom flat. The inside goes in a little bit, so it kind of dips down in. But what you're going to do with this this circle that you cut kind of halfway around is you're going to take your 450. I need to stop pulling it up so high. You guys keeps going out of focus. Why don't you tell me that? I'm just joking. I know you can't. So open your 450 and put a huge spiral. I just kind of start at the center, except I glued it shut. I didn't open it. That would be the problem. Okay, forgive me and my craziness today. So I just start at the center. I just kind of make like a big, huge dollop. I really want to make sure I get glue on all those little pieces, so nice and thick. Nice and thick. And then I always close mine. Always close your solvent glues. They dry out really fast. The more air you have in there, the less of it you can use because it starts drying up really fast in there because it's solvent. So see how the circle is actually a lot bigger than the bottom here? That's okay, because we're going to just put the bottom like right in the middle. And then see there's some overlap here. There's glue all over my fingers, I know. You can kind of like start to untwist it to where it actually winds up taking, okay, not all at once, but you can play with it to where it actually winds up taking up the bottom part of this circle. Sorry, I just knocked my knee on the table. Okay, so 450 actually dries nice and fast. Oops, see, I keep untwisting the outside edge here. So it won't take long before we can kind of see what's going on here. Okay, I actually need more. I didn't make it thick enough. It's my own fault. As it starts to dry on me, it's holding but not. There, I'm going to put it on the inside of the flower instead of, that way I get it all in there. Okay, that'll be better. It had already started drying, but it wasn't, I didn't put it thick enough, so it wasn't getting into all the little pieces. I kind of want to twist and untwist the center here a little bit more. So you can kind of play with it. Now I gotta hold it till it dries. You can add some more distress inks. You can add some more other items. Let me see if I can zoom in on this so I can work down here and see if it'll keep it in focus for you. Is it going to focus? There it goes. Okay. So as you can see, it's quite a little bit, like you don't have to spiral, make such a big spiral like I did. It's a lot of layers in here. So just a smaller one would be fine too, and then it'll have more of this openness that you're getting around these outside edges. But I just love the way these things look. I absolutely adore them, and now it's stuck to my fingers because I was really adamant about it. But hang on, it's almost done here. Get it off my fingers. That's how good the glue is. It just sticks to everything. Okay, so super simple. Absolutely love it. My fingers again. It's a great little flower. You can put it on these are really thick. So I mean, some people will put them on scrapbook pages. I have issues putting these type of things into my books, my albums, and you can actually see the line on the back there. So I tend to do them for altered projects or shadow boxes and things like that. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for paying attention to my little tutorial. And I want to give a shout out to Helmar, because Helmar, I absolutely love their 450 quick dry adhesive. It's the best adhesive I found on the market. And I want to let you know that where you can find it. You can find it online. You can find local retailers and online retailers at www.helmarusa.typepad.com, and check us out over there and find one of our vendors and go ahead and pick this up, because this stuff is a must-have for any crafter's room. Thanks. This is Grace from Grace's Scrap Attic, and that's www.gracescrapaddict.blogspot.com. Thank you all very much. You have a wonderful day.